We are back with you now on Wave Listens Live, here to talk about a very special upcoming event. It's called the Angel Walk. It is designed to honor and remember babies lost during pregnancy or infancy. It's an event that provides a space for families and the community to come together in support of one another, celebrating the lives of these precious children. So, here to talk us through this, give you all the details we need to know, and talk about why this is important to do during the month of October, I have two folks here with me to do that. Chloe Kellums, a presenting sponsor and client, and Lindsay Merrifield, grief mentor and event chairperson. Welcome both of you here to Listens.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. We're so glad to be here.
Let's start with you, Chloe, because I want to talk about why, specifically maybe our community, this is a really important event.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're just one of 4 families that typically experience this type of devastating loss. And unfortunately, this is a loss that's not often recognized at large. So it's really important for Lindsay and I and the wonderful women that we get a chance to work with and learn from, just to honor our children in the same way that every mother would want to honor theirs.
Yeah, getting to come together, talk to maybe others who have had a similar story.
Absolutely.
Let's talk, Lindsay, about the significance of October and why we're doing it now.
Absolutely. So October is Infant and Pregnancy Loss Awareness Month, and actually October 15th is International Wave of Light. And so no matter where you're at in the world, at 7 p.m. we encourage you to light a candle for your baby to honor them, and you can also light an additional candle to honor your loved ones' babies as well.
So that way it's kind of shining lights all over the world.
Absolutely.
At this one exact time.
Absolutely.
Pretty neat to see, and I can imagine the photos that come from this afterwards can tell a big story to some of the numbers that you were talking on. 1 in 4 seems, I mean, it seems like you're going to be in a room with somebody that's experienced this every day of your life.
That's right. It's amazing, especially when you start to share your own story, how many women you find that perhaps you didn't even know that they also experienced this to some level come forward with their own story. And it can be a very isolating loss, but we have found a lot of love and found a lot of comfort and support just in the community of women that you don't know surround you at all times.
A strong community we have right here in our own Louisville community. Let's talk for a second about the route, because I know people like to plan for these types of things and they say, okay, this is an event I really want to support. How long is the route? What does that all look like?
Absolutely. So the walk is going to be on October 12th. The event starts at 9 a.m., but the walk itself is going to start at 10 a.m. It is at Broad Run Park. So you go through Fern Creek on Bardstown Road and take a left into the park. It's going to be at the Woodlawn Pavilion, and that's where the walk is going to start. It's a super simple walk. It's about a mile long, and it's just a very slow pace walk. That way we have time to really honor and remember our beautiful babies.
And think, too, I'm sure, and do some reflecting. Let's talk about other activities that day, other things we could look forward to for attending.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the pavilion, we will have participating sponsors. I will be there as a sponsor in honor of my daughter and Margot's mission, and we'll have different things kind of for sale, and they're all goods to support our community during this time. We'll also have pizza and food, and really just a large gathering with people who have experienced this. So it'll be a nice event. It's supposed to be beautiful Saturday as well. So what a wonderful day to come out and support.
It seems perfect. Let's talk for a second about how both of you, we can start with you, got involved in this and said, we want to make sure that there is something like this here for everybody to take part in.
Absolutely. So my son Bryant was born in January of 2019. He lived for about 36 hours and then passed due to severe scoliosis. And so in the Louisville community, it was really hard to find in-person support groups and other families like Chloe had talked about that had experienced something similar. And so I had the beautiful opportunity of being the facilitator of the support group at First Hour Grief Response, which has been around as a nonprofit for 6 years now. But our group has been going strong for maybe a year and a half now. Not only are we in person, but we also have Zoom options as well. So that way, in case a family doesn't live local, they can join us via Zoom.
Which is such a neat way that you're reaching even more people. Chloe, you had a story as well that you wanted to share too.
Absolutely. So I delivered my daughter Margot on Thanksgiving of last year, and I was recommended first hour by a grief counselor. And at the time, you know, it's like I said, it can be very, very isolating. And I found first hour grief response and Lindsay, who has been a mentor and a facilitator for our grief, and it has just been a transformation in my life, not only to see the strength and the way that our peers kind of honor their children, but also the amazing ways they've honored their grief and put on something like the Angel Walk to continue to kind of shine bright lights on our babies.
The Angel Walk and having something like this obviously is a big positive that this now exists. But from your side of things, when you were trying to find these resources, being that so many people have suffered such a tragic loss like this, how is it that it isn't talked about more, A, and B, you're looking around for resources and at the time thinking, I'm not finding much?
Yeah, absolutely. I think because the type of grief that we experience, the type of loss we experience is still so taboo, right? You know, we don't want to bring up Margot's name because we don't want to hurt your feelings. And so a lot of times our grief is swept under the rug, where we're trying to change that narrative. Speak my baby's name. Say Bryant. I want to talk about him. I want to tell you how beautiful he was. And so by having this walk and having this support group, we're allowing these families to come and honor and say their baby's names.
How much are you looking forward to that moment when you're walking and there's dozens of other people out there and everybody's kind of having that moment of togetherness?
Yeah, you know, it's something I've thought about. Just I think it's going to be overwhelming in the best way possible. And we will have signs along the way if you've sponsored a sign in the honor of your children. So we'll see those along each way of the mile. So Margot's name will be there, Brian's name will be there alongside all of the other angels. So I think it's going to be overwhelming, but very, very powerful and positive to see us all together.
Perfect word for it. Powerful images there along the walk. Well, I want to thank both of you for sharing your stories and making sure that others who are watching today know that you're not alone out there if you have suffered a loss like this. If you'd like to attend the Angel Walk 2024, you can see the information is right here on your screen. Saturday, October 12th, the registration's at 9 a.m., the walk starting at 10, Broad Run Park there on Bardstown Road, the place to go, angelwalk.org, a great place for more information and resources. Thanks to all of you for being with us here today. See you tomorrow, same time.